All modern cars are terrible, look exactly the same, and the only ones that are cool you can't afford. Hello, welcome back to another episode of that show that will not be named. I'm your host, Brian, or Game Prince, whatever you prefer. Drop a little bit of knowledge on you in the first half there. Tell me in the comments section after the video what you think. If you agree, if you disagree. Send me links to cool cars. Not that I can fucking afford probably the awesome ones you're going to put links to, but I don't know, let's try it out. I'm more of a convertible guy myself. You know, speaking of which, I'm probably not even a car guy in general. But we're not here to talk about cars. Today, we're here to talk about American Horror Story Apocalypse, which I just had the honor of seeing the other day. And I could definitely say, with full confidence, that this season is going to be fantastic. Mainly because the first episode is awesome. Normally, I've come to notice that when I watch American Horror Story, I can usually determine from the first episode whether the season's going to be good or not. And they got their shit back on track. After Roanoke, I thought that the series really took a nosedive, and now I can see that they were just trying something different. It was just, it's like, okay, let's do the whole TV show aspect thing, and then, from there we'll go on. But I definitely, going back to, I'm not sure if it's going back to basics, but, taking a new spin on things, I really enjoy this episode. The first episode of Apocalypse was excellent. I enjoyed, well, first of all, one of the reasons I could usually tell if it's going to be a good season or not is if I hate all the characters. If all the characters are just have something about them that's just fucking horrible. And this season, something has happened in the show that hasn't happened in a very long time for me. When I was watching it, and the bombs were dropping, and people were running around, and families were splitting up and everything, I was actually like, there was a pit in my stomach. I was like, oh no, I hope the place doesn't get bombed. I was legit. I was actually upset for the characters. I was actually like, oh my god, what if that actually happened? And I've never felt the feels with this show in a long time. And I would just like to take a moment out for the name of Sarah Paulson's character in the show, I heard the name God knows how many times and I still can't figure it out. I've tried looking it up and I keep forgetting it. It's like fucking, I don't know. I just been like, in my head, I've just been calling her like Elmira Gulch because it's just one of those kinds of names, like Veruca Ishtok or whatever the fuck. She got a very, very Victorian, I could see the collective, which is the group of people that have decided to choose the genetically woohoo people of society and bring them down to this bunker. So American Horror Story, this first episode, the bombs drop. Shit happens. One thing very interesting about the bombs dropping, they didn't mention who did it. Nobody mentioned shit. You don't hear shit. It's not like, oh, North Korea did this. Hey, Russia just did this. China, blah, 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 blah. No, it's just, hey, the entire world's being bombed by fucking somebody. And I'm like, what? I didn't, I don't understand. I don't get it. And probably, I don't know if it's going to be talked about in the future, but I don't know. Something seems very odd about all this. Only because, for those of you who have seen Hotel, for those of you who have seen Hotel, the fuck is in my hair right now? For those of you who have seen Hotel, you'll remember that the last scene, I believe it was the last scene, in the Hotel Cortez, last episode, when the hotel becomes a historical landmark or whatever the shit, and so it can never be, ripped down, torn down. And that takes place in 2022. So if that scene takes place in 2022, how the fuck was the world bombed in 2018 and everything was destroyed? Are you ready for a theory? You ready for the most craziest theory in the world? Nobody's ever going to offer you this theory. Ever. This is just came out of my ass the other day. What if the entire world is bombed? And before explaining the theory, I have to explain, how ghosts, a large amount of people die in a certain area, a place becomes haunted. Ghosts, whatever. My theory is that by 2022, the entire world is nothing but ghosts. And demons and shit. But the ghosts rebuild society. And planet Earth is literally nothing but ghosts because everyone just fucking died in one foul swoop. How crazy is that? And when you watch the scene from 2022, it's just, all the people are in the Cortez. The Cortez is still around, yada yada. But all the people are dead. And everyone's just kind of living out their life as if they would on Earth. And I was just thinking about this yesterday. I'm like, oh my god, an entire planet of the human race just turned into ghosts because of the bombs. That's the greatest idea ever. And then I figured they're probably not going to go with that idea. But hey, Ryan Murphy. Is it Ryan Murphy who runs the show? Sorry, I'm very, very bad with names. Partly due to the reason I'm not going into detail about the characters because I can't remember anyone's name. It's gonna take me about 2 watchings of the entire season to actually get everybody. Ryan Murphy. Is that him? American Screwman. American Screwman. Well, people from American Horror Story are popping up, so yes. Ryan Murphy. Totally go with that. That sounds like a good idea. World gets bombed, a whole world of ghosts for like forever on. That'd be interesting. Looking at the promos, apparently they're all going to be zombies. And if you've seen the first episode of Apocalypse, when they take the horses, when Michael Langdon, whatever the fuck, comes in, when Mr. What did that one news article call him? They called him Interview with the Vampire-esque because he's got like long hair and the robe. I love how the collective's just totally 1800s. They're just old as shit. They're just like, technology is what destroyed the world. And all that stuff. No, but there's definitely going to be zombies or some kind of radioactive shit. What I'm kind of bugged about is I'm hoping that when the witches appear, I'm hoping it's not like a flashback or something. Or it's just showing like, hey, the witches have to stop the Antichrist. And then they fail. And then that leads to the apocalypse. Or maybe, here's something even fucking crazier. What if, ready for this? What if they do some kind of thing where they have to reverse time? And I was thinking about that a little bit, but then I'm like, I don't know. That seems very unlikely. Them reversing time to stop the bombs falling. My whole opinion on it is, I think the bombs fell, but the thing is, I don't think it's as severe as the characters make it out to be. I don't think it's as big a deal. Like, I think maybe a bomb hit there or there, but like, I was thinking more along the lines of maybe like the East Coast was left alone, whereas the West Coast was bombed to shit. Tokyo was bombed to shit, but the rest of Japan is A-okay, depending on the radius of the bombs. But I definitely don't think, because when they're like, we are the last surviving humans ever, and it's like, shut the fuck up. There are probably other shelters across the world. Just because there's only 3 of you, then you're the only ones that you keep contact or tabs on, doesn't mean you're the last people in the world. Seems very thick-headed. And I just love how fucking evil the 2 people that run the bunker, Kathy Bates and Sarah Paulson's characters, how just fucking vile they are. How just like I love when they're so afraid. They just look so fucking stupid. It's so funny. And I'm like, these are actually horrible people. And how they fake Stu. Stu becomes the Stu. That's fucking hilarious. When they kill the one gay guy. And honestly, I predicted that. Like, as soon as I got into the episode, I'm like, there are 3 too many gay guys in this bunker. 1 is going. Because in the first episode, they gotta kill off 1 guy. Just to, like, set the stakes. Like, hey, guess what? Bam. We ain't fucking around. Just to show you how evil the characters are. But I called it. I'm like, somebody in this bunker is gonna die before the episode is up. And then as soon as I saw the 3 gay guys, I'm like, it's one of them. And it sure as shit is not going to be... Bear with me. it sure as shit was not going to be Evan Peters' character, because he's fucking hilarious. He's probably the only one down there with any sense, other than the two, the white guy and the black girl, who are deciding to stay quiet. I thought it was rather funny when she's like, no unauthorized copulating, which is one of the rules of the bunker, so that, you know, they don't want to deal with pregnancy, more mouths to feed, yada, yada, yada. I do think killing people for fucking is a bit of a extreme. But then again, that's just like they said when Kathy Bates and Sarah Paulson had their characters have the sit down, and they dress in they dress in the fine attire and they play cards and shit. And you pretty much just get from that the two of them are just fucking with everyone, that they're not running the bunker how it's supposed to be run, and that it's just them. They don't care about the collective, or at least Sarah Paulson's character doesn't care about the collective. She's just interested in just fucking with people. And she's got that very old type of nurse, like evil nurse type, what was it? Got a lot of, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest type feels with this, where she's the caretaker, but she's like fucked up and all she does is exist to cause misery. And that I thought was pretty interesting, because at first I was getting really pissed off, like, okay, you killed a guy for having a little bit of radiation, and I'm like, no way in fuck he had radiation on him. And then she's like, Kathy Bates is like, well, you put the sensitivity in the detector up to 10, you can make anyone sound like Chernobyl. And I'm like, knew it. But nobody in the room thought to like call them out on that or check on that or anything. I feel like beforehand, all the people probably could have overrun the bunker. But now they've got everyone so fucking scared shitless that there's no way in shit the people in the bunker are going to rise up. And honestly, if the arrival of Langdon or Langhorne didn't happen, or they didn't, catch a intruder on the premises, most likely Evan Peters' character would have died, just because he's the first one. He's like, what are you going to do? Shoot all of us every time we don't, fucking listen to you? And honestly, after Stu was the Stu, I would have fucking overrun that place so fucking quick. I don't care if I would have died. I would have tried to take every authority figure I could with me to shank fucking everybody. Because there are certain things, and it's like, one guy found, Evan Peters' character found a fucking tooth in the stew. The other guy found a finger bone, and it's like, how much more? And then everyone's still like, it was chicken. Why would they feed us humans? They just told you, like, 10 minutes ago that they were not all out of food, but running extremely low. And then chicken appears out of fucking nowhere. And every single character in that room who was like, yeah, he was just chicken afterwards, is a fucking dumbass, and they completely deserve to die there. I'm sorry. I like how the one white guy was motioning to the black girl. He's like, where it's like, okay, good. There's some people with brains in this fucking bunker, but as bitchy as Coco is in the show, I actually like the character, just because I get it. It's the comedic relief, and you're getting a little bit of all different backgrounds. Like, you're getting how the modern day fucking dits would deal with the situation, how educated people would deal with the situation, how panicky people, how optimistic people would deal with the situation. And I love how what's her name's character is like kind of like an Oprah. That's interesting, and how it's really, I think the whole premise is just going to be like these people turning on each other and just constantly like, because if the witches are only in flashbacks, or the whole coven thing is only going to be like a before and after thing, and they're not actually going to clash, only because I think it would be kind of weird for Sarah Paulson's character from Coven to face her character in Apocalypse, and for them to like literally stare each other down like, I'm gonna kick your ass, shit like that. I just think it would be odd, and I highly doubt they're going to do that. So I don't think Coven is quite going to clash as much as we thought it was going to, but still hoping for something big. I definitely want these the people in charge of the bunker. It's American Horror Story. Kill them off brutally. Come on, let's see what you can do. Another thing, which I totally forgot before the bombs. It had to do with something before the bombs. Lost my train of thought. Anyways, with what's her name's character? With Kathy Bates' character in it, she's like the more not sure if this is the right term to use it, but the more butch of the dynamic duo. She's more like military, authoritative, shit like that. And she actually retains a high Kathy Bates' character more retains a higher respect for the collective, or the cooperative. I don't fucking know the names. There's so many. I play Fallout 4. I'm used to the Institute, the Railroad, the Brotherhood of Steel, whatever the shit. So I got organizations in my head floating left and right here. So the cooperative, the Kuala. I'm interested to see how that plays out as far as the Langhorne's connection to the Coven. Will they try to stop him in the future? Do they try to stop him in the past? And a lot of these times, I definitely try not to take the trailer's word for it, or the premiere trailers, the teasers. I try not to watch those, because unless they're the ones that come on immediately after the episode on television, like on the next episode of American Horror Story. I usually don't follow the online things, because they can switch words up, they can do all this stuff. And there was something I noticed. I wanted to see if any of you noticed too. Nobody seemed to talk about it. In the trailer, when the one guy, when he gets left in Santa Monica and he looks up at the plane as Coco and her friends are leaving, and he's like, "You bitch!" For some reason, when they played it on TV and they were showing it, it's like, "You witch!" And I'm like, are they just trying to further connect the fact that Coven is going to be part of the season? I don't know. That's what I figured. Either that, or they were still showing that commercial on earlier television, and they weren't allowed to do the nitty gritty stuff until later at night. So then when you got to later at night, then he went back to saying bitch. But before that, on FX, whenever they were showing the trailer, it was always, "You witch!" And I'm like, you know what? That actually fits perfectly, because either way, you're getting a message across. But on the whole, this season looks freaking fantastic. I hate every single character, which usually is good, because, let's face it, it's American Horror Story. 90% of them are going to be dead before the season's up. And really looking forward to who's coming back. If Emma Roberts, is that her name? I don't know. When Roberts' character comes back, interesting to see. If Queenie comes back, I'd be interested to see Queenie come back. That would be cool. Then again, I could probably just go onto a website, be like, "Yo, who was on the set? Who hung around the set and was leaking photos?" Just so I could tell in advance, because I'm that type of fucking kid that peeks at his birthday presents. And Christmas presents. I don't get birthday presents anymore. I'm 22. I don't have birthdays anymore. I have nothing. Anyways, yeah, tell me what you think in the comment section below about the new season of American Horror Story, and what do you think is going to be in it? Where do you think the series is going to go? I'm hoping to see the return of the freaking aliens. Come on, we need to bring those back. Do something with them. Make them not even aliens, just interdimensional beings or some shit. Angels even. I don't care. Just do something with them, because it's a freaking apocalypse. The apocalypse, for whatever reason, has always entailed in science fiction, science fiction shit. What's science fiction shit? Aliens. Aliens in the apocalypse going hand like macaroni and peanut butter. Do it. I'd love to see it. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. What is your favorite season of American Horror Story? What do you think of the characters? What did you think about Stu becoming the Stu? And yeah, I think that's going to about do it for this episode. Join us next time where, I don't know, I'll pull some kind of review out of my ass. It's whatever I really feel like talking about at the time. It's not even really a review.